right.
Yeah.
All right. We are here. Welcome to IoT Coffee Talk.
Yeah, I only have a bottle of water. Do you have your coffee?
I already have it. I don't have it right in front of me, but I had it already. It's weird because I'm in the central time zone in the US, and so it's at 10:30 in the morning. So a little bit later than it used to be when I was in Seattle. So had coffee a while ago, already working for the day, doing
And do
my
you plan and do you plan to meet next week at Embedded World North America or
I
not?
looked at the flights. It was going to cost me $1,000 to fly from
Oh
Houston
my
to
God.
LA, which sounds crazy. I mean, that's what I would expect to spend to fly to Europe or something.
Exactly.
So I don't think I'm going to come. I'm not very happy about it, but I don't know. Like not that
We
our
will see.
audience cares. I'm in the middle of a bunch of stuff. My wife and I are in Houston. We just made an offer on a house in Houston. And so going through that, already had the inspection, everything looks okay. And so, yeah, so we're about to buy a house. We're selling a house in Seattle.
Very cool. Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, there's a lot going on. We've literally been living in an Airbnb in Houston for a while.
That's
So
okay.
it's, got to do what you got to do, right? And so yeah, it's kind of bizarre, no doubt about it. But yes, I'm definitely going to miss Embedded World. That should be a lot of fun. Does it look like? Do you look like a lot of people are going to come to IoT Stars?
Yeah, I think we will have a full room. We have 175 space people. Yeah, room for 175 people. So looks like we are gonna do a sold out.
Oh, good. That's
Because
great.
this
That's very good to
we have
hear. That's exciting.
we have a full program that it looks very spectacular.
Yeah, I love it.
So we are super excited. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Ah,
Hey,
Mr.
our Swiss
Swiss,
friend.
our Swiss friend,
What's up, team?
Hey, hey. We're just sitting here talking about IoT stars next week at Embedded World in beautiful
Anaheim,
Anaheim, California.
home of
Never
the.
been there.
You know what the difference is between a Dodger dog and a hot dog at Anaheim Stadium?
Oh God, what? I
You
don't
can
know.
buy a Dodger dog in October and November.
Oh, ouch, ouch.
Sorry, Mark. It's a baseball analogy. But
Okay.
basically, one team is still playing, the other one is done.
Yes. Have you
Mm,
been watching the series?
No, because it happens in the middle of the night, and I can't do it. So I
Okay.
just wake up,
Yeah.
look what's happened. But if it goes to a game seven, I've already committed that I'm just gonna watch this thing live
Yeah,
because it has to be done.
but it's a
absolutely.
final, or
Yeah, it's the World Championship, which I always do with quotation marks, being that it's not the World Cup where you have many countries participating, but that's what we call it.
Yes. So, yeah, so Toronto Blue Jays against the Los Angeles Dodgers, and
Yes.
the surprise to all the experts is that Toronto is taking it to them.
oh wow,
Everybody said, "Oh, because obviously I'm a Seattle Mariner fan, and we were fighting out against Toronto in the championship, and I remember all the expert analysts go, it doesn't matter if the Mariners or the Blue Jays make it. It won't make any difference. Otani and the Dodgers are going to destroy them. And that's not what's happened at all.
You
Um,
know, I think there are a lot of how do I say this? If we take sports analysis before an event happens, and then the analysts are completely wrong. In sports, they tend to get beat up, like it's common, but never from McKinsey or BCG.
oh, you're
Like,
right.
like, come
Never.
on, like, hey man, like you said all these things and it didn't pan out. Like, why are you getting another contract? What are
Exactly.
you doing?
Right.
no. Going back to baseball, I never watch any games. Sorry for that. But do you think there is a lot of technology involved on that sport? Well, there is this movie from Brad Pitt, right?
Yeah.
Monster. No, what was the Monster Ball or
Oh, Moneyball.
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 That was a good movie.
And that was about data science, right?
Yeah, it's
Yes,
statistics.
100%.
Yeah.
I think I think it's gone too far, and I have evidence going back at least 5 years talking to a friend about how close gambling was getting into professional sports. And I'll come back to data in a second. But, if we take baseball, there's been many gambling scandals throughout, its history. The big one was the Rabu, correct me if I get the year wrong, but it was either the 1918 or 1916 White Sox scandals, where basically some of the guys on the team, I think it was 4 or 5 of them, were in cahoots with the loan sharks or the gamblers, and they were losing or on purpose. Big scandal. The sanctity of the game was
But I asked
blemished.
about technology, not gambling.
I'm going to come back to that.
Ah, okay. Got it.
I wanted to give you, again, I'm giving you context because you're not a baseball head. I'll make it shorter. There's big gambling scandals in the history of baseball. It was
Black Sox.
ousted. Yes. And it's talked about how, it should never be allowed again. Now we have companies like FanDuel, they're sponsoring the games. They're sponsoring the TV part of the game. They're advertising at the stadium. And I grew up, betting, but, I'm talking about like you're betting $1 a week here. So nothing that would be an issue. But baseball has gone from betting on who's going to win or how many scores are you going to get in the team to, will the first pitch be a strike? Will this guy hit a home run? Everything, and even in between breaks. Like, if I've been to a lot of games where you're betting with your friend. I'll bet you a beer that when the catcher throws the ball to the mound is going to fall in the mound or not. Even you can gamble on that. So now coming back to data, there's a lot of data to support the gamification of professional sports. And some of that data is absolutely being utilized to not only place the bets, but to make the spread, make the odds.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm not a fan, but I will say I have $25 on the Dodgers winning Game 6 and scoring under 8.5 runs, and that is the most I've bet on a game in the past 8 years. So that tells you how healthy my
He's very
gambling
healthy.
is.
He's a healthy gambler, like Pete Rose. Yeah.
I always wanted to see how all these gambling platforms are synchronized with each other. So you cannot do this bet and completely the opposite in another platform and make money with one or the other.
Actually, you can, but mathematically you'll never be ahead.
Yeah, but this is because they talk each other, right?
Well, again, I can give you the old school answer.
Speaking, that shouldn't work 100% of the times.
Well, the thing is that, again, I'm going to give you the non-technical old school way of making the odds. Say, for example, Vegas will have a single book, and you will have many even illegal operations that will take the odds from Vegas. So Vegas was setting the standard of who's favorite, who's the underdog. So it gets copied, meaning if you had the strategy of betting, I'm going to put money on both teams, it doesn't really matter which platform you use, you don't make any money. And I'll give you here. I'm going to look at yesterday's spread. Where is this thing?
But he doesn't play. He doesn't gamble. But he's just
no. But yeah, because I have yesterday's spread. So yesterday, if I wanted to make $100 on the Dodgers to win. They're the favorite. So I'll have to wager 166 to get $100.
Oh.
Now, the Blue Jays, they're the underdog. So if I put $100 on the Blue Jays, I double my money. So it's like, okay, so if I'm going to bet $200 and I'm just going to bet on both teams, in this case, with the odds that I played yesterday, I will come ahead about $20.
But you don't need to put the same amount of money for each. You know what I mean?
No, but I could just call you and say, hey, Mark, you play the Blue Jays. I'm going to play the Dodgers. And we split the winnings. And now we have $10, which if we were betting millions, like Rob does with his
millions,
it might make
millions. Yes. Like, hypothetical trade this morning, for instance, like, 2 days ago, Amazon lays off 14 or 15,000 employees. Yesterday, they blew out their numbers in a giant way on cloud. This morning, you might have a on the open buy order for Amazon stock, speculating that it's going to go up because of those two factors.
Yeah.
Is that gambling? It's just information. It might work, it might not.
Yeah, but this is all IoT related because people are actuating, so making wagers, making bets, based on acquired data.
Wow.
And back to baseball and data. So things that I didn't grow up with that at first was really interesting. In baseball, you have the dimensions of the ballpark, so you would have a good idea of how far the ball traveled. 400 feet or 420, whatever it is. And, for the last few years, we've had technology that I forget the name of the company, but they started with tennis that was measuring the accuracy of ins and outs in tennis. And they were following the trajectory of the ball, which for tennis actually turned out to be easy because of the color of the ball. And now they've implemented that many years ago for baseball. So you can see the little graphic that tells you not only how far did the ball travel, but velocity exit, which like we didn't care, but now it's like a thing because now you can measure how hard someone, made contact with the ball. So it's super cool to see all this Power BI going into baseball. But anyway, I'm a romantic when it comes to the game. So love the game.
Can we profile David? And say that because he originates from a particular location, that he would be more inclined to be a baseball fan.
Dominican Republic, largest minority in baseball, and the best.
It's a world champion, no?
Well, yeah, indirectly, yes. Yeah.
No, but who are the Olympic champions? Baseball Olympic champions?
I don't know.
Well, there's there is
Cuba. No,
there's a tournament that happens every couple of years, sanctioned by Major League Baseball. It's called the World Baseball Classic.
Okay.
And right now I don't know Cuba because Cuba's having more issues than usual.
Okay.
As of recent. But Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Curacao, and I think Colombia, they play baseball now. Like now, the Winter League is happening right now. Well, that's a localized by-country championship, but great, very analog experience. Like if you want to feel like it's Vince Scully narrating a game from 30 years ago, you listen to Dominican baseball. There's no technology. We barely have 2 TV cameras in there.
I love it.
But it's great. It's raw.
Yeah. Yes. So that's the big thing there, Mark. The DR is a baseball machine. They just pump them out, like literally at birth. They're popping out. They put a ball cap on them, give them a mitt and a bat, and they're just in it.
Well, because like IoT and developer relations, right?
Yeah.
The developer community, Major League Baseball teams.
Yep.
Going to the community of developers, handing out SDKs and free sandboxes,
Right.
which would be like having minor league affiliation teams in the island. And you're advertising your webinars about Edge AI and what Qualcomm's doing with Arduino, which means who sponsored this ballpark. So it's planting seeds like IoT. And anyway, it's been a long tradition. Yeah, there it is. There's some gear.
Look at that beautiful. Oh, that's a Q. That's a dragon wing. Wow. 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 You're from the future.
Nice. And yeah, so now for many years, the Dominicans have been the largest minority in the game of baseball. Like Arduino, like Qualcomm hopes Arduino is going to be the largest minority in the game of industrial IoT.
Yes. Going back to baseball, so actually in the Paris Olympic Games, the baseball was not
there was no baseball
included. But the last one, 2020 in Japan, or 2021 in the Olympic Games in Tokyo, the gold medal was for Japan. The runners-up were for United States, and third place, Dominican Republic.
Wow, that's good.
Nice.
That's right. We can't forget about Japan, David. I mean, Japanese baseball maniacs. Yeah.
There's a team called the Giants. I forgot which city, and I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but
it's not San Francisco.
We're really going to talk about sports this whole thing. I'm trying to bring this into IoT so people don't fall asleep.
Lots of stats, lots of data.
Yeah, but when I think of deploying IoT on cellular versus LoRaWAN, it's almost like cultural thing. Like if you've been to a baseball game in the US, it's so different than being in a baseball game in Japan. In terms of, I'll give you the example that was the most shocking to me. So I was a Dodger season ticket holder for 8 years. And the rivalry, the biggest one, is with another West Coast team, the Giants. And it's nasty. It's people get into fights, which I don't condone, but it's like you're going at each other. But in Tokyo, the fans respect each other in such a way that you chant for your team, and I'm going to respectfully let you chant. And when you're done, it's my turn. And that was shocking to me. Like they were in the same venue for the love of the same sport, but rooting for separate teams, and everyone gave each other grace. But in Chavez Ravine, we're killing each other in the bleachers just because you're wearing the wrong colors. So yeah, different cultures do the same thing. Baseball, quite different. So it's cool.
Wow. Back to profiling. Let's profile the Japanese now. You're right. They're very friendly, very polite people, in my experience being there. And even long before I ever went there, I remember as a kid, watching music videos on MTV, and some of them be live, and you'd see one that's like a live concert of a band performing in Japan. And what did you notice? Everyone is sitting down with their hands folded, politely watching this concert instead of standing up going, And I was like, wow, that's different, And yet I saw that over and over again, in different videos, concerts, and stuff like that. So there's, it's a cultural thing. I think they're more polite, maybe reserved. I don't know. Oh my gosh! Speaking of polite and reserved, here's Bill Pugh in the house.
What the hell is going on, man?
What up, Bill?
Dude,
what's up?
I'm loving the gear.
Oh, you like that? It's that kind of weather around here right about now.
Yes, I'm aware since I'm down in Tejas with you, and I can't believe how nice and crisp and cool it is. But I love the match, the coloring, the hat. I love the orange accent. That's
what we do, man. I mean, look, for those that don't know, Overwatch.
It's a video.
I thought, Bill, I haven't seen you in a while. I thought that the logo of I don't know. Overwatch, I think it's a video game like esports. Yes. Okay. That's all I know. I thought that was a new logo for True North. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it looks like there's two hands, like client and consultant, like coming together, and they're pointing to the North Star, and I thought that was your new logo. I'm serious, man.
That's a good idea.
Well, don't take it from Overwatch. They probably have money and will sue you for
Yeah, no, I mean that
infringement.
part. I'm just saying that's a good idea.
Wow.
I mean, when we were putting all of this together, I was like, we need a singular logo. That would have been like to do something, a play on that. Yeah, that would have been the thing right there.
Oh yeah.
But,
Yeah. Make sure Stephanie knows it was my idea before she sends you a new logo tomorrow.
well, she'll see the recording, and we're talking about, I mean, a bunch of stuff coming for 2026. I mean,
Nice.
We are excited about 2026 for True
Yes,
North,
sir.
man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, we got, oh my goodness. So the fellas just came back from GTC GTC DC,
Yeah.
where they showcased the digital twin built on Metropolis.
Oh,
Tell us more.
oh,
So the first implementation of the smart city blueprint from NVIDIA.
okay.
Oh,
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So now it's all onward and upward from here.
So are you aligning yourself with what NVIDIA is doing?
No.
Okay. All right. I was curious.
I was about to ask Bill. I was going to ask Bill.
We stick to our true north.
Oh, ooh, clever.
What what it is, I mean, it's just like we've been saying all along, right? I mean, I get a lot of conversations around, and I mean, I've been kind of laying low lately, just really grinding on what we're trying to do and turn these things into, recurring revenue opportunities. But it's almost like it's time. And Rob, I will enlist your help on this. We've got to break down this whole definition of digital twins, models, streaming data, and what it means.
Yeah.
Because I can't tell you how many countless conversations I've had around, so what model are you using? The Purdue model, and are you using this? And I'm like, people want to pop off with words and things that they've heard, as opposed to substantive conversation around the implementation and the use of data from the ground up to deliver these insights and outcomes.
Maybe we need to create
tell people.
Oh, go ahead, David. I'm sorry.
No. When they ask you if you're going to use the Purdue model, just say, no. I'm going to use ISA 95, which is the same thing, but they don't know.
But they don't. No, I've got a whole breakdown on standards and implementations and a comparison, not a what is good, better, best, but because it really, that's not the conversation to have. It's not my twin is better than yours. It's my twin is used for streaming data, real-time insights, 100%. I don't use a model that lives in the cloud that gets retrained. The Purdue model is just that. It is a model that then is put in and used, and it's trained and all of that stuff. But it's very good in specific areas that we're not that great in.
Dude, but you know I think this is the Purdue model, the way, how it was born. First of all, it's a physical representation of a plant floor.
Yes.
Right? And remember that the first level is level 0. It's down into instrumentation. And it's a few levels before we get to the cloud. I don't know why it's almost 2026 and we're still getting wrapped around the axle on this. It's time to beat people up with this, man.
Well, exactly. I mean, where you're saying it is exactly what we're articulating, because when you go model, that model 0 through, I mean, once you actually hit models that are trained at level 4, the Purdue model kind of starts to have challenges, AI, ML, model deployment type stuff, right? Because the constraints are like, strict one-way data flow, which prevents the push down, computer vision, defect detections and trained and everything like that. There's issues in the cloud with that as far as that goes. Multi-site digital twins, there's challenges there. So, I mean, we get into a lot of that stuff, and I think that it's really time to go back to the education of where we're at today versus where we were 20, 30 years
You know
ago.
what, Bill? Maybe we should write a document, a manifesto, a white paper, or whatever that says this is what we say a digital twin is, and how you have twins of twins, parent, child, peer, all that multi-site and everything. I don't care about the whole Purdue thing and all those ISA 95 people. You know what? Because we are so rogue. And I think what we're going to come up with is what I would call the Lukenbach model. And it's going to work in Texas, I think. And as it turns out, if you're in manufacturing, you could make a whole living just here.
Yeah, you could.
Yes, Jake, the manufacturing millennial. I don't personally know him, but I follow a couple of people that follow him. He did a self-commissioned infographic, so he said. I believe him.
Self-commissioned.
And yeah, well, because
I love making infographics.
Canva, probably.
Yeah.
Well, he did a snapshot. He did a snapshot of his home state of Michigan, and I remember it's Michigan because Kalamazoo is in Michigan, and Derek Jeter, number 2, New York Yankees, the greatest shortstop that ever lived, is from Kalamazoo. Sorry, I had to do the baseball thing again.
Of course you did.
He was highlighting manufacturing outfits that were doing robotic implementations, specifically robotic implementations in Michigan. And he had like 70 companies just in one category, just in manufacturing. So to Rob's point, that if you're doing certain valuable things in manufacturing, just in the state of Texas, you've got the prospects to be able to pull something off. They're there.
If I go asking anybody, most anybody here in this large Shenzhen-like city of Houston, which is the #1 manufacturing city in America, and I ask them all about ISO 95 and Purdue, they might be like, boy, what you talking about? Let's just go get shit done and make some money. A lot of people don't give a shit about all that stuff. There's a lot of purists, and we know them all, in this industrial IoT space that we've been living in, and they live and die by that stuff. And a whole lot of them didn't make any money.
Nope.
And so it's like, I just don't care,
But I think it's prudent to actually wrap it around the use cases. I mean, because the biggest thing that I hate is, I won't say I hate, I dislike strongly, is disinformation. Disinformation, because it's being disseminated, and those that half-heartedly accept it are going to go down the track and they're going to realize that they're stuck. I didn't get what I thought I was going to get. I thought it did this. Yeah, but no, that's not really what we do. We do this, and we do it very well. I mean, but it is, take a moment, take a step back, and figure out what problem you're trying to solve.
What?
Again.
We're not supposed to just go build a platform or something. We have to figure out what kind of problem they want to solve.
You have to figure out what problem you're trying to solve. I mean, there's a lot, and in and of that. But again, that's kind of what we've been doing over the course of the past, few weeks that I've missed being here, is really hunkering down, going, all right, we're at the end of the year. I got to get some of these contracts signed. I got to get, lined up for resources and everything to kick off the work in 2026. And, get some nice press releases out there that are proof points. So not, a press release for the sake of a press release, but really.
There's a lot of press release marketers out there that they think marketing equals press release.
Yes. And, and really, it's like, it's not so much about the tech. The tech is the tech. It's always going to change and evolve, but it's about what problem you're trying to solve and how you're delivering value to your customers.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Bill, let me go back to Metropolis for a sec.
Yeah.
So how's Edge AI and digital twins interacting among each others?
Oh, that is like, well, I mean, because we're edge based anyway from the very beginning.
Very edgy.
And that's what it was, right? But then there's things that we just, because of what we do, we're just not that great at, right? Which is video. Like we don't, I'm like, we don't do anything with that. But if you're looking at NVIDIA and you're looking at Metropolis, you're looking at Cosmos and things of that video and inference detection there then becomes something insightful in terms of what it is that we're doing, right? And it's an interesting thing. One of these within the next two times that we meet, I will show you an example of what that is. Because literally, let's take the example of what we're doing with one of our customers. They're in a park. They're like, what we've got LoRaWAN sensors on the paper towel dispensers, on the bathroom doors, I mean, all over the place. Huge park, some odd 65 cameras, and they're like, and we want to twin the whole thing. Well, so from our point of view, it was like, well, operationally, you want that streaming data, and that's what we do. That's not what Metropolis or Cosmos or any of them do. They don't show you the operational impact, but they're very good at taking the video. And the edge part of it is the Orin. Orin is awesome. I mean, for video and for camera connections, a single Orin can support up to 100 cameras.
What's an Orin? I don't know what that is.
That's an Orin. It's a hardware made by NVIDIA.
Okay.
Yeah.
To run
And
it.
so it lines up with our story and what we do now. Even on the Metropolis side and everything like that, you have the models that are there, right? And the models are trained. And if you add new cameras, now you got to take it down. You got to retrain the model to include those cameras and everything. But what if, when you put those things up, we are the intermediary because we're the operation side, and we unidirectionally feed the data to Metropolis.
Wow.
Now you don't have to retrain that data. Your model stays updated.
But Bill, I'm only here to ask the dumb questions. This is how I've been here for years. If you have a deployment with X amount of cameras and they're trained on whatever it is that the customer for the business problem decided to train them on, and then one day you add 2 more cameras to a new area of this geography, why would be the reasons to have to retrain when you already have a model and you just have new feeds? Is there a reason for it?
You got to, because what is that camera actually looking at? One, does that camera run applications? Two, does that camera where is it located geospatially? You got to have some geospatial awareness about that camera. Three, so that the model now has to be retrained. You can't just introduce that and it automatically knows, oh, you're at lat long X and you have these applications running, and this is the inference that we're going to run on you. You've got to run that through for a while before you actually land on it's trained and it knows what it's looking for, and these are the anomalies that it's detecting.
So let me say this so that a dumbass like me can understand. So if I have a deployment of cameras and I'm looking for, let's just say I'm looking for speeding cars. That's my model.
Yep.
If someone speeds, tell me about it. And now I deploy 2 new cameras to look for speeding cars, but it's 2 new streets that we hadn't covered before. You're telling me that I cannot just copy paste the model and tell, okay, see, and for our 2.3 billion people that are watching, the way I'm positioning this question is based on a common belief. But now you're getting expert answers that is not a copy paste go. So Bill, please.
No, but I mean, but at the end of the day, the element of, because that's just that one part of it. But when you start thinking about, okay, well, now I want to actually walk through that park and I want to get that experience, or I want to walk through those streets. That's where it shines. We don't do that. You're not, or if you actually want to query the model or the twin, that side of the twin, you want to query it. You're not talking to our operational dashboard. You're not going to inject any large language model into the operational dashboard. That is your operational dashboard. It's telling you what's happening at any moment in time. So the combination of the two creates something that has not been done yet. So you're able to do things in real time, and you're able to look at it and keep your model updated.
But David, you don't start from scratch every time that you deploy a new camera.
No.
Okay.
So you start from a foundational model that more or less understand what is a car, in your use case.
Yep.
No, it has this shape, the only problem is the context that Bill mentioned, right? So the camera can be in another angle, in another type of position. Maybe it's sunny more hours, or maybe it's in a tunnel and it's always dark. Or the lights go against the camera. So there are multiple things that can affect the model. So it will need to get retrained to get properly.
And it's not like, I think, and Marc, I think you can attest this. It's not like I'm saying that you have to go back to square one and that whole, whatever it took 3 weeks to, fully train it and go, yeah, we're good. It's not that, but you will have to retrain. So because we're operational and everything is done on the fly, all we're looking at is bits flying. And we're saying, this is what happened, that's what happened at that time.
You guys are giving me ideas on how I'm going to beat the singularity. I'm just going to switch hats. And the camera is going to be so confused that they're not able to track my movements as I, go in and out of the house.
It's your 60 frame per second camera.
Yeah. That's it.
I love it.
But you have to understand that the camera, it's not a camera anymore, right? It's not something that you press a button and the light gets in a material. And the camera.
Shutter speed no longer matters.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, are you going to Smart City Expo? You're not?
I'm going to Embedded World North America.
Oh, okay.
Are you going to Barcelona?
Well, Travis, one of my guys is going to be out there. And he's going to be there, and North Texas Innovation Alliance is there with the city of Frisco, and AMSYS, our partner, is going to be there showing our stuff.
Why they do 2 events at the same date? That's completely stupid. Embedded World and Smart City Expo, same exact dates. Like, what the fuck?
It should be. So they're headed to Barcelona now. Unfortunately, I'm missing this one because I've got to get these SOWs and contracts done. Someone's got to
keep the lights on.
Exactly.
Business doesn't go exactly. Money never sleeps. That's what Gordon Gekko told me when he was my mentor.
Bill, but you know what, Bill? Just let MCP take care of all your SOWs.
Oh, yeah.
You're down with MCP.
Yeah, you know me. Hey, so we have less than a minute recording because the guy that takes all of the money for these streams, Leonard, he's on an aeroplane somewhere. So I'm going to force us to bring us out. Folks, you've made it to the end of another baseball digital twin edge AI episode of IoT Coffee Talk, where you get facts, you get dumb questions from this guy, and expert answers to help you and your community become elevated, educated in here. So thank you for watching. Remember, elevateourkids.org.
Elevate communities.
To try to close the digital divide. I'm not going to say anything about Brendan Carr and the FCC at this point, but you know what he's up to. We're doing the other thing.